Emily Johnson, and I'm a maker, gatherer, protector, and I'm from the Yupik Nation. I grew up on Diné land up in what is called Alaska, and I live now on the Lower East Side of Manhattan in Lenape-Hoking, and we've been here for, I've lost track of the days, which is wonderful, up here on Mohican, Agawam, Pocumtuck, and Nipmuc land, dancing on their land with their trees and in the studio for the past 10 or so days. So we've been working on a piece called Being, Future Being, which has many elements. This is just, so one of the elements is the dancing, choreography, embodiment of being in the future. And last year, late last year, pre-COVID, pre all of this, I just felt like we need that better future now. We just need to be in it. And so I want to create a work wherein we are in that better future. And I don't know how to do that. So have been thinking through that and dancing through that with Jasmine, with the trees here and with trees at East River Park, with my collaborators who are thinking through processes of collaborating with our more than human kin, with trees, with fire, with other beings, but really collaborating, not as in just sensing or listening, but truly collaborating and finding out what that technology of communication is and what we might learn about this future.
Hello.
Hello.
Ah, look at that beautiful space she's in.
Look at this.
Wow.
Right, look at this gorgeous studio.
Oh my God.
Dancing and playing and like feeling.
That is so wow.
And then the view from here, I don't know if you can see that. I just look out into trees and mountains. I've really been thinking about the circumference of the tops of the trees. So I've been going out and trying to walk the pathway of the top foliage of the trees. When you actually try to walk the circumference of the widest part of the tree that like the trees reach, it's like you have to like climb up and over that and around that because it's really, really big.
The care that a tree or a plant will give to its neighbor is invisible to us. You know, like we don't see how a tree will help a fellow tree that is struggling by redistributing the water to other trees. I just love that image, you know? Like care in that essence doesn't need to be acknowledged by anything else because that doesn't matter. It's just done because it has to.
I see this as very like inward facing, sort of an intimacy that doesn't require any kind of recognition from us. You know, that these supportive systems, it's almost like tree mutual aid that are not front facing.
This play of subjectivities, right, between the tree as a being and you as a being. What I what I was thinking of is when you were talking about gathering, the way that, you know, this reconceptualization of, are you part of the trees movement? Another way to phrase that would be, is the tree gathering you?
Yeah.
Right? In those moments, like how is it gathering you? Through the space between limb and root.
Specifically here at Jacob's Pillow, it's been a lot of like deep inner work. We've been working a lot with the trees. It's kind of taken like the pressure off of being future being, off of just me, which is really nice, because I think everybody kind of wants to get to a place of just being like the best you that you can be, like right now, and like living really presently. And I know for me, like I definitely struggle with that and want that for myself. So it's really nice for me to just be in this piece and like be like, okay, be the future me that I want to be and start living that version of myself like right now.
This came from thinking about the branches circling, understanding the roots circling. Like it came from the form of the tree, the structure.
And it's
tree.
alive.
The structure of the tree taught us the form.
Yeah.
And then we're doing it, and then that gives you this feeling of your structure, which then I keep wondering, like, okay, as we go further with this thinking, because really, of course, what needs to shift is so many structures in our world.
Yeah.
The structures that have created the current future that we're in, which is not the one that we want to be in, right? So it's like, how do we shift that structure? There are 574 sovereign Indigenous nations on this land that we currently call the United States. Wouldn't it be amazing to live under these sovereign justices and law systems, and that we, like, the depths of knowledge that we might then know land, place, and being. That's the future, right? That we want, that we're creating, that we want to be in. Something like coming across the signage up here that notes that this was originally a farm. You know, it can seem, we get so used to that. We're used to colonization. But once you start to notice, like, they're not benign. Like, a sign like that is a violent erasure of thousands and thousands of years of culture and art and living and making and loving here on this land. We know now that we need to decenter the colonial narrative. To continue to go by a sign like that and think it's benign is actually reinstating that violence and causing it again, causing harm again, not only for Indigenous people, but for any settler too, because that's not the true narrative of this place. And so, like, that's the kind of, like, heart-opening, it's making me cry, that's the kind of, like, heart-opening undoing that needs to be met by all of us. And so I see something like that as an awesome opportunity. Like, you know, crew here can make another beautiful signage, and they can work on what that language is with local Indigenous folks, and they can like start to shift that acknowledgement and start to shift the understanding. And so when people come here, they're not coming to a place that was originally like a farm. They're coming to a place that is and always will be Indigenous land, and that this beautiful place that is Jacob's Pillow, that houses so much creativity and futurity in a body-centered making, which is necessary and needed and beautiful. It can be in better relationship with the actual land and history and ongoingness of this place. We get trained as humans, right, to like pay attention to humans, Not that there's a judgment about that, but I've been really wondering in creating this performance gathering or creating other gatherings, being in gathering with the unknowable, with trees at the park or here, how do we change our learned attention toward the human?
If you were to think about the mapping that you're doing right now with the space and the mapping of the stars in the space, maybe you're creating this sort of star architecture. Maybe that is the gathering that spreads in all these different kinds of ways. Maybe you're embodying a gathering in relation with unknowable matter, and the fact that it being evasive of capture and the fact that it is unknowable is the space of possibility.
These are the territories or the places or the directions or the unknowns of this dance. Land, celestial, inside, outward, underneath.